Initially, it was, the overvaluing of loans, certain properties like Seven Springs or 40 Wall. But I think in my lane, it turned very quickly to Weisel, all things Weisselberg.
What was your last conversation with Alan Weisselberg?
I actually was at CNN in DC, and I was going to go to the studio, and it was COVID, and I called him up and I said, Alan, we really have to talk. I do not want to make this public. I think this needs to be handled. We need to have a conversation, and he refused.
When was this?
June of 2020.
So June of 2020, you reached out to him and said, we need to talk. He refused.
Right, and I told Mark that's the last communication we had. And I don't think they have not reached out to me at all. I've tried.
Were you close before that?
Very, very close.
How close? Like, tell me, what was the nature of the relationship?
Even
after the divorce?
Yeah, during, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we would see each other on the weekends. Oh, yeah. Very close. Very close.
And so what's it been like to not have a relationship with him for all this time?
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
What do you think happens next?
In terms of the investigation?
Yes.
I get called in to put my voice to the documents. The taxes.
And you think in the end this ends up with Alan Weisselberg in jail?
Yes.
Anyone else?
We'll see how the flipping goes, right?
Jennifer, I appreciate you being with us this morning. I appreciate you sharing your feelings. We look forward to speaking with you going forward. A lot there.
Thanks.
With Senate Republicans poised to block a bill creating a January 6th commission, an urgent plea from the mother of a Capitol police officer who died after defending the Capitol from insurrectionists.
Plus, Donald Trump claims presidential immunity in response to an insurrection lawsuit. We speak to a lawyer for the congressman who brought the suit.
This is the 100 Club, our look at companies that are 100 years old or older. The beginnings of one of the world's most famous zoos was an unconventional one linked to a major world event, the completion of the Panama Canal. In 1915, the Panama, California Exposition was held in San Diego.
When that exposition was done, a lot of the exhibitors pulled out and left. The animals that were left behind became the very first animals that were part of the San Diego Zoo.
According to the zoo, one sound started it all.
We had a local surgeon here named Dr. Harry Wegeforth. As he was driving back from one of his appointments, so we are told that he heard some lions roaring. He turned to his brother, was in the car with him, and said, well, I think it'd be splendid if we started a zoo here in San Diego.
And in October of 1916, Dr. Wegeforth's dreams were realized. Today, the company runs an annual budget of more than $300 million.
We're reaching over 1 billion people a year in 150 countries with our broadcast material. We have to be connecting our audience to our commitment to protect wildlife around the globe. For us, that is going to be critical.
I just missed hugs. You saw me in Colombia getting literally bombarded as hundreds of kids kind of charged me and yelled Tio Andy. I missed that a lot. My name is Andy Stein. I am the founder and executive chairman of the Orphan Starfish Foundation. And our mission is to help the most vulnerable children around the world. Survivors and victims of trafficking, survivors of abuse, orphans, indigenous children, refugees, and at-risk youth. We help over 15,000 children in 29 countries. We provide now 2,000 students and families meals, PPE, necessities around the world. A big problem and one of the homes for survivors of trafficking is basically saying, look, we just feel completely alone in the world. So we came up with a concept called You Are Not Alone. And we started Zoom calls. And what we do is not only would people from Orphan Starfish and the girls get on the calls, but we'd have a celebrity, an artist, a musician, somebody come on and sing to them or perform for them. The beauty of them kind of knowing that the world still cares about them and there's actually celebrities they've seen on TV that care about them was something that was quite uplifting.
I'm Zain Ashraf, and this is CNN.
That's delicious. You have to taste that.
In the hub, where East meets West, CNN Arabic is perfectly placed to find the facts. This is why stories happen. Politics, business, culture, real life. As the pace of change moves faster, we ask the important question. What is the truth? This is CNNArabic.com.
Donald Trump's attorney is defending the ex-president's incendiary speech on January 6th, saying in a new court filing that Trump is protected by the First Amendment and that he had a, quote, absolute immunity at the time, so anything he did was a constitutionally protected act of the presidency. A reminder, here is what Trump told his supporters before some of them stormed the Capitol.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Democrats have brought a lawsuit to hold Trump accountable, and joining us now is Phil Andonian. He is the attorney for Congressman Eric Swalwell, who is heading this lawsuit. Phil, just first, your reaction to Trump's claim of absolute immunity. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's just more of the same God complex that we saw throughout his presidency, that he, because he's the president, can do anything he wants. Nobody can tell him any different. Hard stop. And it's a claim that's been rejected as recently as last year by the Supreme Court in a different context. But he clearly is not above the law, and he clearly does not have absolute immunity for every single thing that he's ever done as president. And we are certainly not alleging that anything that he did in connection with the lawsuit was anywhere close to an official act.
Well, you know, when you read this filing, there is this element of kind of throwing things against the wall to see what sticks about it. That's sort of what it evokes. His attorney also argues he's using political rhetoric, which is protected under the First Amendment. You say what to that?
Well, I say it's not protected speech. I mean, to be clear, there's nothing in our complaint or any of the other lawsuits that are happening that are attacking protected free speech. To the extent Donald Trump, attended a rally and said things, our claim is that he incited illegally violent insurrection. That is flatly not protected speech, and it's not something that he enjoys immunity from, and it's not something that's beyond the reach of the law.
His lawyer also says basically not so fast. He's already had to, this is asked and answered essentially. He's been impeached, he was acquitted.
Right. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't totally follow that argument. I mean, number one, the main defense that he raised in the Senate trial was, I shouldn't be here. This isn't the right forum for a former president. Senators McConnell and Thune, among others, I think accurately said, a court of law is the place to pursue this. And as a legal matter, the concept that a Senate impeachment trial for